Hello everyone, welcome to 2021. Hope everyone had a good time with their family, friends, and any others during New Year's and is looking forward to 2021 and trading. I'm certainly looking forward to 2021 and the plans that I have for the community to grow and to continuously offer value and knowledge. So these trade recap videos, like I mentioned last year, will be a continuous thing I do on a weekly basis. As long as I'm in trades or close down trades, I would always do these trade recap videos. And that's just the way how I want to be honest and transparent to the community on how actually trading is. There's going to be wins, there's going to be losses. All right, so let's continue here. First trade I took last week is Bitcoin. So let's go over here. If you guys recall when Bitcoin break all-time high in 20,000 level, I mentioned in order for price to continue, I want to see some sort of continuation structure, continuation pattern to pretty much give you a little bit more confirmation that the structure is going to continue upwards. Excuse me, guys. And looking back at this, we had a tendency of a correction, and we had swing highs and swing lows, and price nevertheless continued from this correction. And that was a good confirmation for me from a higher time frame perspective, understand that now that we're in this bullish trend and this continuation just proves that we're likely to resume the bullish trend after breaking that all-time high and the previous high. So and I was fine looking for lower time frame continuation. And when price was calling here, I mentioned as long as price can form, a couple of swing highs, a couple of swing lows, I'm fine with an entry here, knowing that we just broke all-time high there, and this continuation correction proves that we can continue higher. And just set an entry order here above this kind of previous high. Pretty generous stop loss in my opinion. I think is $1,600 or so. I'm happy with just a wider stop loss here in this sense because I'm looking forward to hold the trade longer. Obviously as a more investment kind of style. For crypto, I always tend to trade more on a swing level, just knowing the volatility of it. So I'm happy with the wider stop loss. That's fine with me. Price kind of just bullish price up, bullish push up already. And as we broke the previous high, as my risk management plan, I'm always going to set myself off to break even in this sense. And we'll just see what happens, right? And here's my plan on this. Even if this trade began to, form deeper correction, and I'm fine waiting for a correction to finish and then still looking for a buy afterwards. All right, excuse me. Knowing that this is a potential possibility for the price development, understanding that we could see a bigger correction after all this move, and setting your trade to break even is a good way to stay risk free. But I'm still having a plan to be looking for a buy potential once a bigger correction or bigger consolidation that completes. Still looking for upside. Right? It's very clear that we're going to be in the bullish trend. But is it now? Is it later? Only time can tell, right? So it's good to have a good management plan, good risk management plan in this case. If this continue going upward in small fashion, great, right? I'm going to hold the trade and kind of reevaluate as we go on. But if they start forming deeper correction, well, I'm going to be out of the trade for break even and then just waiting for a little bit more development. All right. So that is Bitcoin. Let's go into a second trade I'm in is sugar. Sugar, if you follow me for since last month already, I've been talking about sugar when we start forming this kind of consolidation. We've seen how sugar move up from the bottom. If we zoom out here, this is the double bottom that we see. This is just a clear reversal from all this COVID kind of price action. We push up from the bottom and then correction, and then we push up again, correction, and we push up very impulsively. Now we see another continuation here. And like I always mention, for me to confirm a continuation will be a clean breakout and then a clean lower time frame continuation. Remember when price was only at this area, I said I was looking for a little bit more tangible kind of correction. And as we go down to lower time frame, this is kind of how you can confirm a little bit more. We had another push up from the lower time frame before a breakout. So easy to set entry order here in my opinion. Again, my stop loss is just below that previous, this current correction here. And as price continue to go up, and then retrace back down, I was happy to hold the trade if it's going to the minus here, just kind of see what we'll do. But I think it was New York session, we just kind of popped to the upside. So because we break the previous high, and now I'm setting my stop loss to just break even here above the price, above the correction I enter at. and looking to see what the price will do if we hit the previous top, which is always going to be my first target. This is kind of the earlier swing high top before the COVID drop, and understanding that from a higher time frame perspective, all this price action that we had was just a period consolidation. Since if we can have this bullish push up above the previous high and then continue upwards, then I fully see this bullish trend to continue. Okay, we haven't been this low for a really long time, as you can see, prices certainly reacting to this kind of double bottom, kind of bearish, bullish reversal kind of price action since. Okay, so I do see this can continue break up, but of course my decision is always going to be on lower time frame. If price continue going up and just kind of form very corrective kind of price action, and then I'll look obviously to move my stop loss to certain profit, and then if it's going to take me out, that's fine, and secure a little bit of profit. But if it continues going up, then certainly I'm going to hold the trade longer, more of as an investment to continue higher. All right, so that is sugar. So let's look at the two. So sugar and Bitcoin are the two trades that I'm still live in. Let's take a look at the two trades that I closed down. First one is Aussie Kiwi. So Aussie Kiwi, remember I set my stop loss to 3-1 when the trade started forming this kind of ascending channel formation. And I think this is a very good lesson on emotion and management. I want to go a little bit deeper here is why I always emphasize my management plan. I set it to 3-1, and I'm happy when the price moves either way, because ultimately I want to see price just break up off this previous high and then continue upwards. And I'll certainly be looking for a scaling entry here and then holding the first trade as well. But once I see this clear kind of consolidation period, a little bit corrective, then I know that we could also see this reverse all the way back down, and I didn't want to lose all this profit. So set a 3-1 profit here, just below this correction. If it's going to break out, leave a little bit of room for it to bounce back. If not, happy with the 3-1 management, because what if this trade start going down more and more and more, and I'm greedy, just setting my stop loss at break even. So all this profit potential 3-1, 4-1, just gonna come down to zero, and that's gonna create a bigger negative emotion in your head. Right? Even though right now price is pushing up, it pretty much pushed up to the previous high already. So if I didn't exit, I would have been almost 5-1 profit or whatever that case it is. But that is not how I trade, guys. That is how you stay consistent by emotion, right? Because maybe this time you didn't exit, maybe this time you did. The point is, if you didn't have a plan, you didn't have it in place, that you're kind of managing based on emotion, then that's going to create not a lot of negative drama in your head. Right? Because in this time it works out, what if next time it continues to drop? Then you obviously blame yourself for not taking profit here. And then next time when you do take out profit here, the trade just start taking off, and you're going to be hating on yourself, right? But if you have a plan, you manage it accordingly, and then you're looking back at it, you didn't exit based on emotion, and that's fine, right? Because moving forward, you can tweak your management plan, you can, add in things or whatever the case that suits you more as a trader, and that's going to help you to stay consistent instead of, basing on a decision on your emotion, right? Many traders tend to do that in the beginning stage, and this is how they really can handle the market's psychological part, because at the end of the day, the market is not doing anything wrong, right? Remember that, some people blame the market or whatever the case, but the market is just doing its thing, right? It's you as a trader who's entering these trades, who's exiting these trades, and it's a mind battle against your head, and the market itself doesn't care, right? So, anyways, that is my management plan on Aussie Kiwi 3-1. Try exit me out for profit, and it looks like it's having a bullish move. So my plan is simple. If this continue going up, breaking the previous high, excellent, right? It's going to likely form a continuation correction, and I'll be looking for an entry here, right? So it's all about perspective, guys. You can see this as, oh, I missed like 2-3% here, or you can see that I got 3% confirmed. If price continue going up higher, then I'll be looking for more profit if it continue going higher. All right, so it's all in your mind, guys. It's all about mindset, right? So I'm happy and I'm very good with my management, and moving forward, I'll still stick to this kind of management practice. So last one I want to go over is CAD Yen. Remember, CAD Yen was the first trade I entered here, and then I mentioned I scaled in a second trade here, and ended up to be break even. This is where price takes me on both trades. So the scaling position, I took a full percentage loss, and then the first trade set to one-to-one profit, so it just barely tagged me out here, and then so 1% win and then 1% loss as it with break even. So let's go over a little bit into my decision or my management behind it. First trade I've been talking about since December, so everyone knows that this was that head and shoulder that I talk about. We pushed down, we pushed out of this higher time frame structure, which is great. And then I was looking for a continuation correction during this time. And price did give me this confirmation of this small ascending channel. It had a tendency of a structure at the time, two swing highs and two swing lows. And understanding my risk, I'm happy to enter a position here and then move my first trade to break even. To one-to-one profit. Sorry. This is how I manage my scaling position most of the time is even if my second scaling position went out at a loss in this case, my first position, which is at a 1% profit, is going to cancel my second trade's loss. So I'm at the end of the pair, at the end of the trades, I'm only going to be at break even. Okay, this is how I always manage it because this is how I see when you do these scaling positions is that you want to be risk management to the fullest because you can't just keep scaling positions thinking it's going to continue going down. You have to have a plan. And my plan is simple, right? If I'm going to scale in on the second trade position, my first trade is going to cover that. So at most, I'm going to be at break even. And if the trade works out, if this continue going down, I'm going to be at 10% plus, right? It's really that simple. Is that blink of an eye. You can be earning two trades together, a lot of profit, or you can be taking off for break even. But at the end of the day, you need capital to trade, right? You could just hold a trade here without taking a 1% profit on your first trade and hoping that it will continue going down. Sometimes it may work, sometimes it may not, but the point is, can you sustain that kind of trading style and strategy for a long period of time without getting more exposure of your account, right? But many people talk about scaling multiple positions. Sure, that I'm sure they'll work out if in their strategy and whatever style they trade. But can they do that consistent in the market because of the risk that they're putting in? They're putting in too many positions in one run, and what if the position didn't work out in their favor and they're going to have multiple losses in one pair or one the same entries, right? So that's personally how I see about it, and I'm fine with this kind of management style where that will just cancel each other out and not break even. But looking back at this or looking forward to this is that if this is going to be a continuation, it looks like it's more of a parallel channel that's forming. This is still an impulsive phrase. This can be a continuation. We're at the top of the structure here now. So continue, if we continue to the upside and then correctively we form some reversal correction here, this can still come down from here and then pushing down forward. Right? This is just an impulse correction impulse. Okay, so I'm still looking at this moving forward, even though I already take two trades, I'm at break even, but my management plan, my forecasting stays the same as I'm still looking for opportunity if this presents itself. Okay, then again, it's the emotion part is some of the people who maybe take a loss here or two, they will kind of just turn their head away from this pair and then looking at other pairs. But when they kind of look back at this, the prices start falling, right? So don't get discouraged if you take a break even trade or take a loss here, but the price action doesn't change, right? We talk about higher time frame perspective, double top here. We have this kind of expanding kind of structure pushing up. We have this ascending channel pushing up, clean head and shoulder, textbook head and shoulder, I want to call. And then we have this strong impulse pushing up. So everything is looking good for continuation. It's just whether this is going to be that continuation pushing down or we're just going to see a bigger structure before it continue, right? That's kind of how I'm going to manage this and how I'm going to look for possible entries. Okay, so just that little part about emotion again, right? It's all about your perspective. You can see this, take a trade, take two trades, one trade win, one trade loss, and break even. You think that's a waste of time, or to me is I save my capital, I save risk. There's no risk for me now, and I'm happy to observe what will happen here. Is it going to continue going down? If it breaks out for continuation, then I might be looking for another entry here just to push down to the lows. All right. So that's how I see on Canyon, and like I said, this result to be a break even on the two trades. So still live on the Bitcoin trade and still live on sugar, and we're looking forward to 2021 first week and see what the market will bring to us. All right, everyone. So any question or comments or feedback, let me know below, and I will chat with you guys next time in my weekly stream. All right. Thank you very much.